Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
I want to firstly say that my strong belief is that all of the stakeholders that are responsible for delivering houses are not all on the same page, and they all don't share the one ambition. And I want to separate out in that case the banks, where it is almost impossible for young people seeking their first mortgage to get a mortgage from the bank to build their own house or to purchase their house. The mortgage approval rate may be high and may look impressive, but in fact, when you look at the actual figures and the numbers that are drawing down mortgages and the ones that are just waiting because they haven't been approved for enough or they can't afford it, and they need to come up with the banks need to come up with various financial packages and mortgages to enable those that want to draw down a mortgage, to make it possible for them in terms of the amount and so on. I would say that the insurance companies likewise have put a lot of difficulties in the place of those seeking a mortgage, particularly those who may have had health issues in the past, are now being told that they cannot get mortgage protection and they're not given any other options. That's it for them. That needs to be reviewed. And I would say that the whole planning process in relation to accommodation needs to be relaxed. When it comes to right-sizing in terms of local authority housing, there's too many people waiting for a right size, to get a house that's smaller than the one that they're in, and that house will be then accommodate a family. That's not happening at any great speed, and I think that needs to be looked at by the Minister and indeed by the various chief executives of the local authority. The biggest problem here, and I've heard it from other members, is the Irish water. In Carlow and Kilkenny, I know of lots of towns and villages throughout both counties that simply do not have the facility to give planning permission because Irish Water will object and say that they don't have the services there. And that is something that is in every single county, and it needs to be addressed immediately. And it's only by way of ministerial intervention that we're going to see any change in that area. And I would say to the councils around the country, for God's sake, do something to act as proper managers of your tenants. Because at the moment, there is no management. And if you're in flats or apartments or groups of houses where you're experiencing the sale of drugs on a daily basis, the abuse of your rights as a tenant, or indeed antisocial behaviour, it's shocking that tenants would be forced to continue to live like that when the local authority, who is the landlord in this case, is not facilitating a proper standard within their own housing stock. And I would ask that that would be part of the review of the activities of local authorities. And finally, I would say that the small solutions of selling a big house if you own it and building a smaller house to accommodate now a different family structure is something that needs to be looked at, because in a lot of the county development plans, if you build in one area, well then you're not entitled to build again. But yet, if you were to be allowed to build, you would be downsizing and making another house available to the market. It's that simple. So I would appeal to all of the stakeholders in this, Minister, that they be brought to the table and that they hear what all of us here have had to say, and that they be asked to do something about participating in the project fully.
Thank you. That's clear.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.